Welcome back to AM Northwest. Valentine's Day is a great day, not just to remember your loved ones, but to remember to take care of yourself. Here to share the importance of self-care, please welcome back psychologist Goldie Sadie. Good to have you back again, Goldie.
Thank you. Great to be back.
It's interesting that we're talking about this is talking about paying attention to yourself. So why is self-care so important on Valentine's Day?
Yeah, I mean, it's critical any day of the year, really. But I think Valentine's Day, we're oftentimes thinking about, what do I do for my husband or my children or parents or friends? But really, it's about taking care of ourselves, because I think in today's society, we can get so overworked, so burned out. And self-care is something that in therapy we talk about all the time. And we talk about how it's really replenishing ourselves, our spirit, and there's a number of different ways of going about and doing that.
You talk about macro care and micro self-care. Tell me about those.
Exactly. So macro is what's really familiar to all of us. So whenever I talk about self-care with my clients, they say, well, I might get a massage, I might exercise, I might go on a vacation. And those are a fantastic place to start, but they're just the start, right? So these are kind of the annual, bigger picture things that we do. Micro is what do we do every single day? Because then we're not getting ourselves to that burnt out place where we need this big vacation to get away from things.
Sure.
So the micro really is something that can start really at the beginning of your day when you get up in bed. Think about, how is your morning routine? A lot of times it might be our alarm goes off, it's blaring, we're stumbling, the dog's doing something, and it's chaos.
Do you have a camera into my world? Because that's it right there. Okay.
Right? And so it's saying, okay, well, let me think about, what do my good mornings look like? It might be that, we really just wake up 10 minutes earlier, 20 minutes earlier, before things are chaotic, and I have a quiet cup of tea, and I can just have a quiet moment of even setting an intention. Intention setting, I love it in yoga where they say, what's your intention for this practice?
Sure.
You can do it every morning when you get up and say, you know what, today I intend to have a happy day, a peaceful day, and just taking a few deep, slow breaths in the morning before you start into the chaos of the day.
Okay, and then what about during the workday?
During the workday, there's a lot of places that we can go with that. So I think just even the environment that you're in. In my therapy office, I have a fountain, and my clients love the fountain and the sound of the water. It might be dim lights that you might have.
See, the water fountain wouldn't work. I just have to go pee all the time. So,
a lot of people say that, right?
Yeah.
It's very valid. And it might be, soothing music. It might be, a lotion that you might have. There's all these little things that we can have. And, a lot of times, Helen, these are things that we might have done in the past, but we forget. Whatever happens and we get out of our routine. And so it's really reintegrating those things back again.
Okay, talk about the lunch hour, because you say you can do some things during your lunch hour.
Lunch is a perfect time. So I think it's a time that we really should put away the email, put away the phones, and it's hard because we all want to get in one last email during the lunch hour.
Sure.
But that can be a time to take a nap. Research shows that the most effective naps are actually 10 to 15 minutes. That's the ideal length. If you have, even a half hour for lunch, you can easily fit that in. It's also looking at, the food that you're taking in. Is it nutritious? Are you doing it at a very slow, mindful pace? I know if I have to run and get lunch, I'm looking at my clock. There's a line. It's stressful.
Yeah.
But if I have cooked something for myself, I can relax. I can take my shoes off.
Sure.
I've worked at centers where people, they'll read, they'll knit, they'll do sewing, they'll do all sorts of things during the lunch hour. So it's really bringing that rejuvenation back into the middle of your day.
And then the end of the day, I'd say a glass of wine.
Yeah. Well, you want to be careful with that, but on occasion, it's great. I think it's really thinking about, how am I winding down? It can be easy, I think, to kind of sit in front of the TV and say, okay, I'm going to watch a comedy show or two, and that can slowly take over your day. Netflix, that's a big problem spot for a lot of folks, right? You just play next episode, next episode. And so it's saying, okay, you know what, I'm going to have a nice dinner. I might read for a little bit, be by the fireplace, having, a calming cup of tea maybe. There's a lot of things that we can do to really wind down for the day in a very peaceful manner. So it's not that same chaos. Getting to bed early. We all talk about wanting to do it. I can't tell you how many clients I battle with about sleep. And I say just getting to bed by 10 o'clock. And again, a lot of research shows that 10 o'clock is actually one of the ideal times in terms of our melatonin production naturally. Our growth hormone, that's also a time that we can really replenish. So really being mindful of the bedtime too is critical. And it's that whole cycle that starts then the next day.
Right. All good tips, Goldie. Thank you very much. We'll put the information on our website.